All right. So I will be using this domain to, it's an empty domain, it's a blank domain, to configure the FitU script, of which you can also, of course, you must have known how to buy domain name and hosting. But if you don't know how to do that, you will check on other, you can send a message to me, or you can check any of our other tutorials that we are releasing out on testkit.com to get the domain name and hosting, and how to buy domain name and hosting, and how to register your account. So once you have done this, and I want to believe, okay, I'm going to sign out now and log into what you might likely going to have. So we're going to have this last cPanel. So when you have this last cPanel, the next thing you need to do is to fill in your username and password as you are given by your hosting company and log into the account. So when you log into the account, you have a similar interface that looks like this. You locate your file manager, or if you don't want to locate your file, if you can't see your file manager as easy as I can see my own here, you can make a search from here, then click on file manager, just search for file manager, and you will have file manager. So we'll have something like this. So when you have something like this, just go to your public HTML. So go down to your public HTML and click on the upload file. The scripts you have downloaded, you have a stuff here. You have these three things. I'm going to start with front end. You can upload the front end. You also upload the users. The users is the backend where people can register and create an account on the system. So you wait for a while. Now, while this one is ongoing, let me quickly navigate to the cPanel again. Now, from here, you go to my SQL database wizard. So click on my SQL database wizard to create the database. You have a guide like this to start creating your database. Just say FitU script, or any name you want to use for your database scripts. Okay, then next is to click on next. So all right, I'm having FitU scripts already. Yes, that means I must have created it before. So let me use another name. So let me just FitU software. Then click on next. All right, okay, let me check something. If I'm having all of this telling me that this name exists, that name exists, then let me look into what I actually let me see the database that actually exists. Database, MySQL databases. Okay. All right, let me delete all these databases then. That means I've already created some of these databases before. Okay, while testing, so all these databases are not actually needed. So because I want to show you how to do that from scratch. So I get to now where I can create. So I need to create a new database, but let me go to my cPanel first. Then I click on my SQL database wizard. So I can put the name I want to use. I can say FitU script, or you can. It's not compulsory you use FitU script. Just use a name that. Then here the database has been created. Then we need to create a database user. What I do in most cases, I use the same name. It's not compulsory you use the same name, but you can use the same name as well. And I will use the password I want to use. You can set your password. Now, one thing is very important. The MySQL username here and the MySQL password here is very important. You must not forget it because you are going to use it again in installing your script. So create a user. So immediately the user is created, you will be directed to this stage which says step 3, add user to database. So click on all privilege. That means it is adding this user button of VScript to this database, and is giving the user all the privilege to alter, to modify, to do anything on the database. So click make changes, then you now click on next step. All right, was added. Now click on home now. So now that we are done with this stage, you need to go to phpMyAdmin now. Go to phpMyAdmin and all right, on the phpMyAdmin I have this now, button up VTU scripts. So what I need to do is just I'll open this, click on this database, the first one. This was the database that was created, and you find out that we have empty table on the database. Okay, let's wait for it. Let's see what comes up. So I'm going to click on this. Okay, let me refresh this page. If I'm having things like this, it could be network, it could be another thing. So I can refresh the page and let's see what comes up after the page is refreshed. All right, now this database is selected. Now how do I know? Look at where we have server localhost 3306, then the database button of VTU scripts, right? So you can see that no table is created. So it has selected as our because you have clicked on this database is selected. So you must always do that so that you will be able to upload the tables on the right place. Make sure that you have something like this with the selected database. So that is all that is needed. Okay, I think I refresh it. Let me see the outcome. All right, so I'm having the same thing. So what I need to do is now click on import. The page is still loading, so we have to wait. So I'll need to click on import to import my table. Okay, let me exit page. I don't know why it's giving me this, so I can reload the page again. The cPanel seems not to be working again. So like I said, so just make sure that this table is selected and you can click on import. So when you click on import, make sure that this database is selected. So wait for a while, then choose your file, which is this VTU script, and click on go. So make sure that the format is SQL. You don't really need to change anything. Just import it and click on go. So you can see this is the file button of VTU script. All right, this has been installed, and when you come here, you have all the tables. It's still loading. So while this is done now, so the next step, which is what we need to do is we need to come down here So we need to come down here. Okay, you can see all the tables now. So the next step is this. So these are the files that we are uploading the other time. The front end is successfully installed, and also the users is also successfully installed. So with that, we can go back to the home and go to the public HTML file to see what we have. All right, these are what we have. Now don't forget that we are working with the domain button up online store. So, and we already have all the files that was uploaded here, right? So the next thing we do is extract file and click on extract file. So two files will be extracted inside the front. So open the folder. So you have a folder that is open the folder, select the two file, move the file, delete this front end folder, and click on move file. So that means you are moving it out. Click on up one level. You are moving it out of this front end folder. So delete this front end folder. It's not needed anymore. So let's refresh our page and let's see what we have. So immediately you are done with the front end. So the next thing you need to do is just where you are seeing all this data center, you just change the data center. Let me show you how you can save that. Let us zoom. Okay, let me go back to this. Let us zoom. Okay, then right click on this index.html, click on edit, then click on edit. Now what I want to do is wherever I'm seeing data center, I want to change it and to another thing. So I can use my control F to find, copy the data center. Okay, you can copy the data center. All right, so I can click on this data center, control F to find, then I can put the data center here. Now wherever I'm having this data center, if you look at what I did here, let me click on minus, you see that I have plus here, that it shows that I have 12 data center. Just click on plus, then you have another one say replace. So what do I want to replace it? Let me replace with eMobile SMS. Then I'll click on all. Let's say replace all. So immediately it has replaced. You can see that right now we don't have any data center again. If you see, we have eMobile now. You see eMobile SMS. All true, that's all you need to do. Just save the changes. So you are done with the front end now. When you come down here, you will see that everything we have here will have changed from this to eMobile. So you, in your own case, you put the name of your domain of your website, like it could be Button Up Online Store, but your own website is what you are going to add. So now we are done with the front end part. Now let's go to the back end part now. Let's go to the back end part now. So come back here again, right click on this file called user, then click on extract, click on extract file. Okay, let me do something before I extract it. I'll first need to create a folder. Let me create a folder and call it user. You can create a folder called user, then create a new folder, because then you can move this file to put / users. Move the file to users. All right, so inside the user now, I can now select this user, extract users. All right, okay, so once you have extracted it inside the folder user like that, so that's all you need to do. So this front end is no longer needed. This zip file, you can delete it from you can send it to trash. Open this user folder, also trash this. So now the next thing you need to do is to configure your front end. Now if you come down here and you click on login, you will be having an error like this. connection fail. So you need to set up the connection. So how do I do that? Go back to your scripts. Now go open the user folder, then look for custom config. Edit the custom config. Now the next thing you need to do is the name of the database created. Our own is VTU script, but this time around you will copy it together with the prefix, which is button of VTU script, right? So button of VTU script, then go to the custom, just scroll down, you will see where we have DB connection. So okay, I already have button of VTU scripts, so you can paste it. Now the database user that you created the other time is, I think I use the same thing in my own case. So also the password that you use, because I told you initially that you must not forget the password because it will still be needed. So in my own case I use I think I use Adewale 2010 or so, something like that. So just save the changes. Now let's go back and let's refresh to show if our database connection is right now. Good. Now our database connection is right. So once the database connection is right, the next thing we need to do is to sign in as the admin. The default admin login, when you come down to the phpMyAdmin, you see the users. So I have the username to be super admin. The username to be super admin. Then I've changed the password to be Adewale 2010. You must definitely change these things because okay, when you log in now, you have a system that is exactly like this. So you need to switch to admin to finish some setup. This is all they can do on the system. You can buy it, you can buy data, you can subscribe to cable and all of that. Please note that we have been using this software for more than a year and we don't have any issue with it. So that is what gave us the goal to sell it out to people. We've been using it for a year plus now. So let's click to switch to admin. Then we put the password. All right, the same password. It will be attached as well as a file into the password I was using here. Now, one thing you will find out is that the stuff you have here is different, which is the admin user. When you switch back to admin, you have another menu. Then come down to system settings and come down to settings. Now, the only one more thing you need to do for your user, for your system to work perfectly now is to look for a user. So is to connect it to the API. So when you click here, you of course you can change each section and modify each of the sections. You can. This is the announcement dashboard. All the details to this is set. The video also will be attached. Then you need to come down here and put your own API key. Now the API key is free. It's free, but one thing we want to ensure is that this software is purchased genuinely from us, because we have a record of all our users, all those who purchase this software from us, to track them and all of that, to know if you are getting the software from the right source or not. It's just a token to get the software. Now, but for you to get your API key, you need to have an account here. So I'll be using my own personal account on API key. Okay. So I will use my own personal account. This is the API key. I will blur the API key so that you won't use it. So just put the API key here and click on modify. Now immediately you put the API key here. Okay. Okay, sorry, I need to put the API key here and modify. So you just need to put your API key here. You can, so to get your API key, just tell us WhatsApp our contact on emobilesms.com, and you get your API key for free. Yes, I mean for free. The reason why I want everybody to know, we want the API key to be free. The API key is, we just put your API key and modify. Now, once that is done, everything is working perfectly. So I've done that before. Of course, I think I've put the API key before. Just put the API key. Okay, let's say I modify this now. You successfully modify, but that's not the right API key. I can put the right API key here. All right. So it's successfully modified. So next thing I need to do is I come down to still on the settings. You can set your Monify account, your bank account, your Flutterwave account, your Paystack account, and all of that. So you can set the prices for your bulk SMS as well here. So just I've added another video. Of course, you see the video admin management video where you can do all of these settings. If you don't have an account, just create an account from here, from Monify platform. And if you're having issue, if you have your NEPA bills and all other means of education like ID card, easily within 12 hours your account will be active. 12 to 24 hours. So if you have any challenge, you can message us. You connect directly to the Monify admin, where they can reach out to you, help you to fix things even from WhatsApp. So that's on that. You can create a fresh account. If you don't have an account on Monify, you can create a fresh account. So that is on that. So now the next rule is to confirm. So I will switch back to the user now. I want to before I switch back to the user, let me switch back to the admin, put my admin key, which is the same thing as the password set for my admin. So I need to just come down here and try to do some things. Go to system settings. I have all of this. Okay, I set up my account details and all of that. Now there's something important about this thing. Now when you come to the system settings here, I can decide to change the color, the display color, to another color of my choice. That's if I'm not okay with the way this admin dashboard looks like. So I can change the color, Beko blue, default styling. We have different colors added to the stuff, which you can as well switch to if you want to do that for your user. We have the blue, we have purple, it all depends on you. It all depends on the way you want it. So that one can easily help you to do some things on the stuffs. And we have light green. All right, so that's on that. So on the admin settings, you always do that. We have all other settings and all of that from the system as well that you can. You see the product management. Now you click on product management here. Now you now click on update price list. You update the price list. It refresh the system and get you the new price list. So that's on that. That's how to connect to the API. So when you click back to the admin dashboard here, you will see my balance, which is called the provider balance, which is the same thing as what I have on eMobile SMS. So you can see my balance, my account balance there on eMobile SMS. So once this is connected, you are good to go.